Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and for some reason, I decided for my 31 days of horror movie reviews, I decided to re-watch because I've seen this once before, years and years ago. I'm talking about American Psycho 2. Some people are saying, what? They made another one? They made a sequel? Yes, they did. All American Girl. This came out in 2002, so just 2 years after the first film with Christian Bale. This is directed by Morgan J. Freeman. And when I first watched this years ago, I could not believe it. I was so heartbroken because I love the first American Psycho. American Psycho 1 is one of my favorite horror, thriller, whatever type you want to call it, movies out there. And there's so much good in it that when you get to the sequel, it's just, it pales in comparison as far as quality, as far as writing, even acting.
Where'd you get that?
This doesn't hold a candle to the original film. I think we're much better pretending like this second movie didn't exist. It stars Mila Kunis as Rachel Newman, and I will say this, if nothing else, Mila Kunis is good in this movie. She is. If this wasn't called American Psycho 2, if this was not connected to American Psycho in any way, if this was just called All American Girl and it's a horror movie of this crazy girl going around killing people in her college, cool. I probably would be able to roll with this a little more, even though they're still bad in that concept as well. So the first offense that this movie makes is that the very beginning we see a young Mila Kunis, well, not her specifically, but a little girl that's supposed to be her when she was younger, and she was being babysat by this woman who just so happened to be another victim of Patrick Bateman. Of course, Christian Bale did not come back for this bullshit. So they cast a guy and we only see the back of his head. And he's also wearing a mask, and so you don't see it, but it's supposed to be Patrick Bateman. And he ties up the little girl and he goes, I guess, to kill the babysitter. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Patrick Bateman is smarter than this. I know he made mistakes. I know he did some dumb stuff and almost got caught several times. But to have a witness, like a little girl there, like, would he still carry out his killing or whatever he wanted to do with a kid there? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, right? But this little girl gets out of the rope constraints that she was in, and she kills Patrick Bateman.
I was in Bateman's apartment.
Guys, if you're making a sequel to American Psycho, if you're going to even attempt to make this task, why would you show Patrick Bateman getting killed? Why would you have that at the very beginning? Oh, you know that character that you loved, or I shouldn't say loved, he's a fucked up guy, but I should say, you know that character that you were fascinated watching and that you couldn't get enough of how fucked up he was. We just kill him off. You know, no fanfare, no nothing. He's just done. Fuck. If you wanted to have, because I know that's supposed to be the catalyst for this character and what sets her down her future murderous path, I get that. But when she's in school, when she's in her classes, and she's very learned up on a lot of serial killers, Ted Bundy and various other ones, she knows all about their techniques, their victims, their numbers, their styles. Why couldn't she just be obsessed with somebody like a Patrick Bateman? Like, why couldn't she have just heard about him, know everything about him, and that obsession is what brings her down that path? You didn't need to have her kill him. As a little girl, no less. Or How about this? The ending of the original American Psycho, how it's ambiguous, how you don't really know whether he killed people or not, whether it was all in his head or whether people around him are helping him cover it up, and so it's this whole thing. It's a mind fuck of an ending on purpose, and this just undoes all of that. So again, 5 minutes, sure, but this it does a lot of damage, more harm than good. Mila Kunis, who I enjoy in the movie, I think she has this charm to her to where you want to like her. Yes, she's attractive physically, of course, but she has this personality to where she seems like she could be a cool person. And then, of course, yes, she starts killing people, but she kills people and she tries to justify it. She's narrating, so you're hearing her say that, yeah, she's killing so and so because they're a dick or because they're a terrible person. And you see these people be assholes, so you kind of get it. And because she's vying for this internship to hopefully someday, one day get to the FBI, she looks at it as, I'm only killing a couple people to eventually stop the real fucked up people. So it's a fucked up philosophy that you're trying to vibe with and go along with. Her using her looks to her advantage to get legs up on the people who are in competition with her. You have this douchebag character, Brian, who I was not happier when he got killed off. I mean, they couldn't have killed him any sooner, honestly. And then you have this other girl, I think her name's Cassandra, played by Lindy Booth, who, this is an actress that I've seen in a lot of things after this. I didn't realize that this was her. She's the blonde girl who has something going on with William Shatner.
Stop calling me Bobby.
Yes, William Shatner is in this movie. He's playing the professor who is teaching the FBI class that Mila Kunis is attending and that she's vying for the internship. So everyone's sort of vying for his attention. And it's sort of funny. It's amusing to see William Shatner have all these younger women, and I mean like teenage women, go up to him and shower him with compliments and act like they're in love with him because they want the spot, right? They want the good grades. But Shatner, he wasn't terrible until his last scene in the movie where, holy fuck, his acting in that scene where Mila Kunis is fucking with him, like mentally trying to twist him and confuse him. And it's so bizarre. It's one of the most awkward, weird fucking scenes I've ever seen in my life.
What's going on here?
Bobby, what's wrong?
Don't fuck with me.
Maybe Shatner at that point was just like, I want to be done. Because I don't think I've ever seen him act so bad. I don't know what happened there. Also, the writing is bad, you know. You're trying to have Mila Kunis do the narration, and she's saying this dialogue that they think is clever, but it's really not clever. It's kind of cringe. It's awkward to listen to. It's like she's trying. Bless her, she's trying, but the material is not there. You're following up American Psycho 1. You can't be giving me this CW level writing, if we're being honest. Also, speaking of CW, the music in this movie, I'm talking about early 2000s pop rock type music, which I'm not necessarily against in general, but the music that they chose and the times that they decided to play said music throughout this film, awkward choices. There was one character who was a psychiatrist that he immediately becomes suspicious of Mila Kunis right from the first session that they have. And throughout the movie, there's several times where Mila Kunis is just a bitch. She tells him off, but she does it in like a condescending, sounds like she's trying to just be nice way, but clearly from what she's saying, she's being a terrible person. And it's hilarious. It's kind of hilarious to see her verbally tear this guy down in every scene that they're in together. This movie sucks. It sucks. It's bad. I hated it even more back in the day because of how much I love American Psycho, and then I followed up with this. It was anger-inducing.
You were in Patrick Bateman's apartment. That night he killed Clara.
Watching it now, it's still bad, and it still has a ton of bad writing, a ton of bad acting. Just the kills aren't inspired either. A lot of the kills are lazy as fuck. There's one kill where she just follows a dude into the library, the public library, kills him out in the open, broad daylight. There's people around. And she's just wearing a hoodie, but she stabs him to death. Days go by where nobody finds this body. Nobody finds the bodies until the very end of the movie. But what the fuck? The logic is out the window here. I do think that under a better writer, a better director, this could have been interesting. And take away the American Psycho 2. Bullshit. No, this could have been its own thing. I think Mila Kunis as a serial killer is interesting. It just sucks that they didn't know what the fuck to do. I cannot believe this movie got made. Holy fuck. Wow. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen American Psycho 2, All American Girl. What do you think of it? Do you like it more than I do for some reason? Or do you agree that it absolutely sucks? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Swimming in beers, I've been through it all, let me trickle a tear. In case you didn't know, I was living sarcastic. A motherfucking monster, something Jurassic. Had to wrap the whole entire bed in plastic. Slumping in skits when she fucking with raptors. Killing and drilling and I'm sipping on the 4-0. Listen by a whole entire motherfucking torso. Oh, what a rush, sniffing some more blow. Let the bitch bleed and I'm making a porno. I'ma keep it going a few times for a bad